shit.
Props to whoever gets that movie. Yes, I am here to now rank the Alice Cooper albums. Obviously, I am done reviewing all of them, so now it is time to do so. One of the things I was like, man, how the hell do people do this in terms of stacking the albums, right? 28. So I got them over here. They're looking like a bunch of Jenga bricks ready to fall. So, as always, it seems like people always forget what the hell an opinion is. I'm going to spare all the details. Just be civil. Let me know in the comment sections, maybe top 5 or top 10. Let me know, agree, disagree. Just be civil. Because at the end of the day, we're all Alice Cooper fans, and as long as we're talking about it, that's all that matters, right? Alright, so, number 28. I could not get into this album at all. And it's probably not what you think. I know like the first two get kind of shitted on, but it ain't that. Number 28, I'm going to go with I'm sorry, Alice Cooper, Muscle Fluff. Look, if anybody's like saw the review, like this probably wouldn't come as a surprise, but to me, I mean, it just does nothing for me. Like, it just seems completely half-assed. It sounds like nobody's really having fun. There are some good tracks on here though, like A Muscle of Love, Man with the Golden Gun, but just overall, I don't really know. I just don't care for it. And it's not because this is the successor to Billion Dollar Babies. I don't really go that route at all. It's just, as itself, as an album, I really don't care for it. So that's me. Cardboard's alright. Holds up pretty well after, 4 decades now. So that's cool. Alright, number 27. This album, to me, is his most disappointing because it could have been so much more, and instead we get this weird Wizard of Oz disco. And I'm talking, of course, about Alice Cooper Goes to Hell. Alice, it looks like he's hulking out right here. But, I talked about it before to where it's like, okay, Alice Cooper plus Hell. That's money right there. To me, this could have been like a Black Sabbath album. That would have been killer. Instead, we get this disco thing, which, you gotta dance. Quite honestly, I don't really mind. However, it should have just died right there in terms of the disco. I don't know why it had to bleed all the way throughout the entire album. And to me, most of the songs really aren't that bad. It just, to me, it completely missed the mark. I like Go to Hell. Didn't We Meet is great. I Never Cry, of course. Give the Kid a Break. It's alright. But then it's just like, I'm Always Chasing Rainbows. No. And then Going Home. Again, no. He does redeem himself on this topic, at least to me. In terms of Hell, of course, that will be Dragon Town. But for me, Alice Cooper Goes to Hell. It doesn't do anything for me, really, just besides a few tracks. Alright, number 26. Here we go, is Alice Cooper, Pretty's For You. The first one. So, the reason why I have this above the two before is because, I actually do get more enjoyment out of it. Goes to Hell might be a little bit better in terms of, obviously, everything. But for me, it's like, okay, Goes to Hell, I might like half of it. This one, all around, I think it's pretty decent. Obviously, it's not their best, it's Frank Zappa, weird, like hippie stuff, psychedelic, whatnot. And here's the backside. So if you never knew Alice Cooper had blonde hair, well, there you go. I would say, though, check out this song, Changing Arranging. That's a great song, as well as Reflective, of course. Obviously, that would be referenced or, remixed into the song Elected. So, to me, it's not really that bad. 25, I'm going to go with Zipper Catches Skin. Sorry about that. I had to make sure which number I was at. So if the cover isn't throwing you off, I do wish that Alice Cooper right here was in a darker red, that being the bloodstain. And there's the backside, a lot of empty space there, and he's actually not in short hair. It's just like in a ponytail. To me, I think like what really sets it down is that it feels like a very cold and isolated album. I would say though, most of the tracks, if not all of the tracks, I enjoy. So like from Pretty's For You onwards, like these are albums that I enjoy, on like various degrees, of course. Goes to Hell, Must of Love, no. But this one, I do get some enjoyment out of it. You know, you got Zorro's Ascent, that's a great song. Make That Money, you know, No Baloney Homo Sapiens, Tag You're It. There are some good tracks on here, so, you know, I don't mind playing this, but for me, it's at 25 just because, like I said, it sounds a very cold, isolated sound. But yeah, you know, it's decent for what it is. 24. So 24 and 25, I was flipping on because I think Zipper, compared to this one, is a more even album in terms of strengths. This one definitely has its peaks and valleys. However, I think the peaks are a lot stronger than what you have on Zipper. And that's Alice Cooper Constrictor. So obviously he's back from you know, like rehab and, you know, going to church. You know, he's done with the drugs and like the relapse of alcohol. So he's back. The Nightmare Returns. You know, it does show in the voice a bit. However, the next album he's gonna fucking kill it there. But you know, there's some great songs. I like Teenage Frankenstein, Life and Death of the Party, Simple Disobedience, World Needs Guts, and He's Back, The Man Behind the Mask, which was in Friday the 13th, part 6,342. But those albums are definitely the highs, and the lows are, you know, the rest of the half. But, you know, a fine comeback, you know, you definitely get remnants of this, and then it will be multiplied for the next album. So for number 24, that's Constrictor. Alright, number 23. I actually really enjoy this album. Alice Cooper, Easy Action. Obviously the the album cover, you know, is a little funny and stuff, and you got this little split action here. And then there's the backside. But yeah, good tracks on here. I like Mr. Misdemeanor, Shoe Salesman, which is this very you know, pop psych feel to it. To which later on it's like, oh, I think the guy's kind of a drug addict. If you listen to the lyrics. Return the Spires is good. Laughing at Me is creepy. Refrigerated Heaven and Lay Down, Die, Goodbye. So there was some good stuff on here. You know, a decent garage rock album, but of course the band will find its stride in its successor, Love It to Death, of course. But Easy Action. I know the first two albums get a lot of shit, but quite frankly, I understand. But you know, for what it is, I like. Oh, and if you also like Pretty's For You, check out the YouTube channel Calico Silver. He did a great review. It was like a half hour on Pretty's For You. In fact, he even played some of the songs on the guitar. So check him out, Calico Silver. He puts a lot of love and passion into those albums. So yeah, number 23 is Easy Action. Alright, number 22. This might come as a shock, considering like a lot of young people like this album. That's Trash. For me, it definitely doesn't feel like an Alice Cooper album. However, it is a good album for what it is. Like Poison, Spark in the Dark, Bed of Nails, Hell is Living Without You. Those I really enjoy. The rest are decent. You know, I don't mind. However, Only My Heart Is Talking can completely fuck off. I don't care about that song. He finishes off with I'm Your Gun, complete Quagmire song. In fact, he even does it with the gun. Is it Alice Cooper? Absolutely not. This is a complete Desmond Child. In fact, Alice seems to be more of a side character because you got Steve Tyler, Bon Jovi, Joan Jett, etc. But for what it is, you know, it works, and you know, I don't mind it. I understand that this could be a complete slap in the face to older, longer fans. Don't get me wrong there, but to me, I hold the notion that if he didn't come out with this album, then you wouldn't get Hey Stupid, you wouldn't get Teenage Frankenstein, and subsequently, Alice Cooper might just be known as like that great 70s rocker, as opposed to influencing more and more generations. So yeah, there you go. There's Trash at number 22. Also, I would say that the Alice Cooper Trashes the World concert, that's a great concert. You can watch it on YouTube. And the female backing vocals, I think, really elevate the song as well. Alright, 21. This one can probably go up a couple spots. And that's The Eyes of Alice Cooper. So there's actually a commenter that came up with the term. I believe it's like new garage, as in like new metal, but new garage rock, which I would definitely call this album. There's the backside as well, and obviously, uh, this came out on CD, obviously, but this is reissued as an LP. And for me, the reason why I got the LP is that it's cheaper than the CD, because obviously there seems to be some sort of conflict with the record holders, because this is a complete pain to find. It's not on Spotify. It's not on the official Alice Cooper. Folks have made a playlist of their own for this album. But yeah, there are some good songs on here. I really love Between High School and Old School. Man, the Year's pretty decent. Novocaine, that's a good song. And then the B-side, you get Detroit City, which of course will be revamped for Detroit Stories. Spirits Rebellious, that's a great song, completely underrated in my opinion. This House is Haunted, creepy. The song that didn't rhyme is good. I'm So Angry, Backyard Brawl. So a very, very decent album, one that I get a lot of enjoyment out of. There are some misses on here, like, Bye Bye Baby, I don't really care for that much. Be With You a While it's a pretty decent, pretty good ballad, to me, when you see an album cover like this, there's no reason that a ballad should be on here, right? But before what it is, decent, if not damn good, new garage album. Alright, number 20 is Lace and Whiskey. I know this album tends to get pretty shit on in terms of it beginning and dying of a concept on like the first song. But I mean, I think, well, first off, I think this is a pretty cool album cover in itself, Revolver and the book. This was actually a promotion, I believe, for it, and it goes for big bucks if you ever see it on eBay. And there's the backside. But yeah, I really do enjoy the songs on here. Lace and Whiskey, of course. It's Hot Tonight, Road Rats. You and Me is a pretty good ballad. I never wrote those songs. There were some decent songs on here. You like a 50s rock and like some rockabilly, just that sort of old school sound to it. Check it out. There's even a pretty funny song on here called "King of the Silver Screen." So that's a funny song. But yeah, decent album overall. I understand why folks don't really care for it, but for what it is, I enjoy it. Alright, number 19, I'm going to go with Paranormal. So for me, I think what would have really elevated more was it to be a longer album. But I'm not going to try and sound hypocritical since I like Flush the Fashion, even though that's a pretty short album. But yeah, 10 tracks on here. And of course, it's the double CD. And on the second CD are the two Alice Cooper band songs that they did, plus some live tracks that we've heard a million times. This feels to me, even though I obviously I really enjoy this album, to me it feels like almost like a fan project almost. And it was like oh, if this does well, then we'll go on and make an even more complex album, that being Detroit Stories. So yeah, I wish it was longer. Straight to the point hard rock album. Really can't go wrong. Alright, number 18. To me, Song for Songrise, his best concept album since From the Inside. And I'm going to go with Alice Cooper, Along Came a Spider. If you got the digipack, oh man, this comes with like some pretty cool stuff. So obviously, this book belongs to Steven. And there you go. And like the pamphlet has like a bunch of pictures in it too. Obviously, production isn't that great on here. That's not controversial at all. But there's some good songs on here. I like just because I think like what Alice, he might tend to do on concept albums is that it will start as a concept, but then like drift off into something else, so then maybe it'll tie in at the end. This one, song for song wise, just is straight to the point. A serial killer by the name of Spider, that you find out at the end is Steven, or of course you just open this book and you realize it is Steven. But you got the prologue, which is this detective radio sound of the lady talking about it, like they found out about the trap. Then Alice bleeds in with I Know Where You Live. Vengeance Is Mine, terrific song. Wake the Dead with Ozzy Osbourne. Wrapped in Silk, I Am the Spider. So pretty damn good stuff on here. I enjoy this. And that is one hell of an album cover, right? This complete return to a macabre sound. So number 18 is Along Came a Spider. Number 17, I always consider this a top 10 album of mine. However, like the more I thought about it, the more it's like, well, I like this album more, I like that album more. And it's like, I can't really justify it. So it sits at number 17, and that's Alice Cooper's Special Forces. I am a complete sucker for this album. I mean, I don't know, I just really love it. I'm always one to go for the either unknown, underrated albums. So the first album that I bought for myself was Dada. So there you go. But yeah, Alice Cooper Special Forces. Obviously, he's like drug addiction, so cocaine, and he then takes a direction into new wave punk sound, which you definitely get on here. Who Do You Think We Are? I think that's a great opener. 7 and 7 is, well, obviously that's a cover. He does a pretty good job on it. And the funny songs like You're a Movie, and also stuff like Prettiest Cop on the Block. It seems like no matter who I listen to, they always say they hate that song. To me, I really enjoy it. But like for me, the reason why I couldn't really justify it is because obviously, for one thing, you got Generation Landslide Live 81, and just, overall, it's definitely not that strong. But to me, I always enjoy this album, and, quite frankly, this might be the one album that I've listened to the most. And of course, the backside, if you don't know, on the bottom is, you look at you over there ripping the sawdust from my teddy bear. I have the Life and Crimes of Alice Cooper box set, which has that. Also, you can listen to it on YouTube. And I'm going to be honest, with a complete batshit title like that, the song sounds the most Alice Cooper-like on this one. You Look Good in Rags, which I talked about earlier, on like a video which uses the same riff from Blondie's Atomic. And even a song like Don't Talk Old to Me, very down and out, feel to it. But overall, it's an album that I really enjoy. Alright, number 16 is Dirty Diamonds. Man, this is a good album, isn't it? I love this just straight garage rock album. And there's the backside and inside here. But yeah, I mean, Woman in Mass Destruction, great song. I've talked about this on his recent albums, that the fact that he's hundreds of songs in, dozens of albums in, and he's still able to come up with gems that make killer set lists. It's just just shows how great he is. So Woman Mass Destruction, You Make Me Wanna is super catchy. Dirty Diamonds, of course, Saga of Jesse James, funny while sad. Sunset Babies, All Got Rabies, Pretty Ballerina, I really enjoy. For me, the cream of the crop on this album is Run Down the Devil, and finishes off with Zombie Dance, and then of course the bonus track is Stan, which I don't really mind, but if it wasn't on here, I wouldn't be complaining. But yeah, Alice Cooper, Dirty Diamonds. If you haven't listened to this album, definitely check it out. A nice 1970s garage rock album. It really holds up to me. I really get a kick out of this. Alright, number 15 is Dragontown. I think maybe the charm of Brutal Planet does not show on this album, even though that there are some funny stuff on here like Disgraceland or Sister Sarah. I don't know, but I've been told there's a nun who's having fun. There are some little funny stuff on here. But of course a industrial album, the successor to Brutal Planet. This is supposed to be like the darkest depths of Brutal Planet. Does it live to that expectation? I don't think so. However, you do get a great song, as in Trigger Man. This sort of distortion vibe to it through and through. Deeper, and then, which is like this elevator down to hell, and then you open up with Dragontown. Sex, Death, and Money, that's a good one. Fantasy Man, I don't really care for, however the chorus is pretty great. Then of course Sister Sarah, like I said. Somewhere in the Jungle, I think that's another incredibly underrated Alice Cooper song. Check that song out, Somewhere in the Jungle. Then Just Want to Be God, and then finishes off with The Sentinel, which I really do enjoy that song as well. So there you go, Alice Cooper, Dragontown, at number 15. Number 14 is the sequel. To My Nightmare is sequel in terms of the first Welcome to My Nightmare, not Dragontown. But I really do get a lot of enjoyment out of this one. I understand maybe, parody. To me, I think this definitely brings enough material, enough uniqueness to make it an album that stands out on its own. You open up with I Made a View, which uses like auto-tune, but it works. Caffeine, and then you bleed in this little bridge with The Nightmare Returns, and then you go on this little journey of Runaway Train, Last Man on Earth, Congregation. To me, probably my favorite song on here is What Baby Wants. He sings it with Kesha. That is an incredibly catchy song, and if you like instrumentals in terms of like a song, check out The Underture. It's the last one if you want to hear maybe like Alice Cooper's best instrumentals throughout various songs, including this one and of course Welcome to My Nightmare. They bleed together perfectly. But yeah, corny, sure, obviously. There are some songs I don't really care for, like the disco songs, but for what it is, I think it does a great job giving it its own unique identity as opposed to purely just riding on the coattails of Welcome to My Nightmare. So there you go, number 14, Welcome to My Nightmare. Number 13, well, let's go with School's Out. Obviously, this is, obviously a lot of people just know this for the title track, School's Out itself. That's a killer album cover, of course. Most of the Alice Cooper Band ones are pretty terrific. This is at like Hard Rock Cafe in Vegas, right? That's like on the wall. You can check it out. But yeah, I really do enjoy this one. Obviously, after the album, that the title itself, maybe does fall a bit. However, a song like Looney Tune, even though that's a pretty damn depressing song, that's also a terrific one in my opinion. You get Gutter Cat versus the Jets, which it's fine for what it is, but I would have liked to have just ditched the little Broadway shit that happens there. I do like Public Animal number 9. My Stars, that's a great song as well. So yeah, a very, very decent one. I know that this album is pretty mixed. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't like it, and they usually cite the fact that Bob Ezrin is really on this album, which, I think that'd be kind of tough to argue. But for what it is, I think it's a very good song. Good album. Number 12 is Flush the Fashion. So this is a story time right now. So in the house, the only Alice Cooper albums we had, like my dad had a lot, but there's like this mystery box that's just disappeared and that like has everything in it. So the only thing that was in with the record pile was this and Special Forces. And I probably heard this album like 10 years ago. And I really didn't know anything about Alice. Like, obviously, I knew what he looked like. And it's like, I know he does this sort of hard rock. And then when it was like Special Forces and this, it's like, man, what the fuck is this? Like new wave punk. Like, what's going on here? But for what it is, I mean, I really enjoy it. I agree with some folks who say that this is his most consistent album, if not one of the most consistent albums that he has done. There's the backside, a very garage type thing, underground feel to it. Obviously, you see the effects of drug use there, but you open up with Talk Talk, which is a cover, and then Clones I really enjoy, just straight out of the 80s, right? Pain is a great song. I'm glad that that's being used in recent tours. Leather Boots, incredibly short but hits the mark. Aspirin Damage was funny. And then the B-side, you got Nuclear Infected, Grim Facts. Grim Facts is a great song. So that's the thing with this album. It's like a song like Grim Facts or Model Citizens, that's on the B-side. Like that you would have probably saw that on an A-side. So just all around, and to finish off with Headlines, a great ending there. So If you have like half an hour to spare and you like new wave sort of punk feel to it, check out Alice Cooper Flush the Fashion. Obviously the album cover, pretty lacking, and I think the reason why they have Alice Cooper 80 on here is because if it's just like that, would you buy it? Would you buy it now? There you go, right. Before it is, I enjoy. Also, this will be like the one and only blackout period in which you actually get something on the album sleeve. I always find the blood kind of funny. It's like, oh, people are probably gonna be freaking out, like, what the hell is Alice doing? Let's throw some blood on here, And then there's the backside of the bat. Cool stuff. An album that I really enjoy. I hope I'm not repeating myself here. Number 11, his newest album, Detroit Stories. I waited a while because I know it was like the next day I was seeing articles like, this is a top 5, this is a top 10, top 7. It's like, pump the brakes, folks. I know we're all happy and stuff, all excited. So, I listened to it, came back, listened to it. Obviously, I did the review Monday or Sunday. But yeah, 15 tracks. To me, this is a very, very good album. Obviously, Detroit rocking it, mixed with classic Alice stuff, mixed with, some corniness, and, it's always fine to be a little corny from time to time. The opening song, I don't care for that much, I don't love it, but it's fine. But Go Man Go, Our Love Would Change the World is funny, that successor of Department of Youth, Social Debris, terrific song. Another gem that Alice Cooper just continues to mine out. $1,000 High Heel Shoes, R&B, backing vocals on there, really adds to it. Drunken in Love, a blues song that's, sad about like a homeless person. I Hate You is the original Alice Cooper band singing on here. Wonderful World, great. This one, because I was listening to this when I was doing like schoolwork when the album came out, and I was listening to it, and when that song came out, I was like, oh, classic Alice here. The creepiness, the bleakness, that Jim Morrison vibe. I was so happy to hear that. And then Hang It On by a Thread, Don't Give Up, which was then remixed into the one that proclaims more to like COVID-19, which came out in March of 2020. That's a very awesome video. Got like folks participating, got like the songs, and Alice is there, and it's like the earth, but just like in sort of like a hollow grid pattern. Cool stuff. Shut Up and Rock, I really love. Obviously that's a pretty prevalent song. Then you finish it off with East Side Story, which is a good song. I kind of wish that maybe those two songs were flipped in terms of which one ends. But yeah, there's the backside there, Alice Cooper. And, he continues to do it. He continues to prove that he can still, kick ass. So number 11 is Detroit Stories. As I almost fall. All right, this album. I know people give a lot of shit to. I don't really know why, because you read like some articles, and it's like, oh man, he's complete parody, caricature. He's not being true to himself. But then they rank the successor totally high, even though you can say that that's completely not Alice Cooper like. I'm of course talking about Alice Cooper, Raise Your Fist and Yell. Corny album cover, sure. However, I think the details are actually pretty good on the fist. You got some cuts and like a broken nail and whatnot. Of course, it's the 80s. Like, oh, we got Photoshop. Stretch it out. But this, sure, commercial, sure, whatever. But this is some freaking fantastic vocals, shreddings by, Kane Roberts, and, tracks 6 to 10 are fucking fantastic. All right, Prince of Darkness, and then you enter this concept of Time to Kill, Chop Chop Chop, Gale, Roses on White Lace. This is Alice Cooper meets Violence to the max, and it's just terrific. Everything's just blistering on here. And of course, Constrictor, he sounded like he smoked a pack of cigarettes, obviously, because it was been a while since he did songs. But this one, he gives it his all. And I really, really enjoy this album. So, number 10, Raise Your Fist and Yell for me. Alright, number 9. So this one's probably a lot lower than what people usually have this at. I'm going with Alice Cooper, Love It to Death. I really do enjoy the album. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I've never really felt it to be a top one or two to me. But that's just me. Great album cover. Obviously, this is the reissue packaging because originally he had like his finger and thumb sticking out to look like his willy, but then they had to censor that. And then there's the back side with the band. So obviously you're done with the psychedelic hippie stuff. You're with Bob Ezra now, and it's time to scare every mom and dad out there, right? But obviously there's some great songs on here. Caught in a Dream, I'm 18, of course. Holla Be My Name, Long Way to Go. Black Juju is like a 8+ minute song. Definitely a New Orleans feel to it. That's sort of spiritual, juju effects and stuff like that. Is My Body's Good, Second Coming. Ballad Dry Fry, of course, continues to be played to this day. That's a terrific song. In like the straight jacket, into the insane asylum and then back out. And then, of course, you finish the album with The Unwanted Child, that being Sunrise. But for what it is, a pure 1970s garage rock album to it. It definitely has macabre in it. And for what it is, I really enjoy. So, number 9 is Love It to Death. Number 8 is The Last Temptation. Man. I really get a kick out of this. This is one of the first albums I bought. Great album cover. Obviously, it's like kind of unique, to say the least. But I think it was like, if you to cover your eyes, listen to or just like not see the album cover, listen to the album, and then look at it, you'll go, yeah, I can totally picture that. And yeah, there's the backside on here. So, of course, it's about like Steven, and if you didn't know that, I don't blame you. And there's this ringleader who's the devil himself. So I believe this is like a prequel to Welcome to My Nightmare, the first one, because you open up with like Sideshow and the carnival. And then, of course, in Welcome to My Nightmare, years ago, he says the carnival closed years ago. So yeah, that's pretty awesome right there. This sort of evolving of the character himself. But Sideshow, Nothing's Free, that's a great song on there. Lost in America, at first I didn't really care for it just because of how repetitive it is. But I've come to enjoy it. Bad Place Alone is a terrific Alice Cooper song. Check that song out, Bad Place Alone. That song just showcases yet again why Alice Cooper is a terrific songwriter. You're My Temptation, obviously great. Stolen Prayer, Unholy War, Lullaby, It's Me, Cleansed by Fire. So you get this great, emotions of this sort of drift through the story itself that Stephen finds himself, lost, and then he clings on to the ringleader, to the devil, and then he realizes, like, man, I made a mistake, I gotta get out of here. Then he fights the devil. And, a great spin on fighting the devil is not so much, fisticuffs. It's to make the devil weak by proclaiming that, he doesn't, like, the devil doesn't scare him anymore, that, fear is his ultimate weapon, and if fear doesn't do anything, then you're nothing, right? So, at the end of the day, this is a great album to me. And obviously, you're done with the glam metal stuff. Number 7 is Alice Cooper, $1 Billion Babies. I really love the how they did the little diamond circle on here. It's like elevated. But of course, obviously, for a lot of people, this is the cream of the crop. There's the inside too. So yeah, it's got the $1 billion bill. So that's awesome. These ones are these ones are like, you can kind of pull them out like baseball cards. But of course, I'm not going to do that. But Elected, Hello Hooray, No More Mr. Nice Guy, Generation Landslide, Sick Things, that's a great song. $1 Billion Babies, I Love the Dead, even a small song like Marianne, even though it's quite effective, right? Just a great album throughout. And then obviously that'll be kind of like the last big hurrah for the band, because like Muscle of Love doesn't really do too well, and then they break up after that. But obviously, quite a few songs on here are still played to this day, and it is a terrific album. This one's kind of like a back and block to me, to which is like, okay, I know most of the songs, so I don't really listen to it a whole lot. That's not to say that I don't enjoy it. It's just that, I always like listening to either a lesser known songs or albums, or just songs that, I don't know, or I've heard like a billion times already. But there you go. Oh, have you guys heard of, fuck it, I forget his name. Yeah, I forget his name. I'll put it down here. He did like a cover of I believe it was No More Mr. Nice Guy. It's pretty funny. Just it's like a serious album, but just the way it is, he's actually not that bad. I can't believe I'm blanking on the singer. Oh, Pat Boone. Pat Boone. There we go. He did an album of like various song covers from like various artists, and No More Mr. Nice Guy was on here. So you check it out. It's kind of funny. Number 6, I'm going to go with Killer. This, to me, this is money right here. This complete macabre darkness, goth, if you will. Under My Wheels, great. Be My Lover, Halo Flies. You cannot go wrong with that song. An absolute superb solo, just blistering pieces that go on towards the end of that song. Desperado, and then you got You Drive Me Nervous, yeah on the B-side, which I think might be the weakest of the album, but they're still good nonetheless. Then you get Dead Babies, and you finish it off with Killer, and just like, man, that's such a creepy song, isn't it? Like the first time I listened to it, and like the lady screaming, and then you get like the buzz sounds, and then you get the fly sound at the end of it, and like the gunshots, and just that creepy piano play. Great album cover. I don't have the calendar of Alice, hanging himself as the phone's ringing. Hopefully it doesn't catch up. But in any case, Alice Cooper, Killer. That's a killer album right there. Someone had to say it, right? All right, number 5. Okay, so this album is like, it's always kind of funny, right? How an album can just be like complete dog shit in terms of sales. Like nobody really listens to it. It's completely abandoned, but subsequently over time, people listen to it, hear about it, and they gain an appreciation for it. That's definitely for me right here. Number 5 is Dada, and this is a promo album as I nuke the screen brightness. I got this a little while ago, but yeah, my god, this is just like, to me, this is like such an intelligent album. And I'm not saying that if you don't like it, you're dumb. This isn't the Rick and Morty fandom here. But for me, just what it is, man, I just enjoy it too. Like the fact that he's like almost at death's door, and like he comes out with this. First off, thank Christ he actually made it past, right? But just to me, the creepiness of Dada, Enough's Enough, bouncy tempo. Formerly and Warmer, so creepy, and then you hit No Man's Land, Mall Santa, Dyslexia, and B-side, great song by Scarlett and Sheba, the way he sings it, Middle Eastern instrumental play, I Love America, complete, satire, stereotype and stuff, Fresh Blood, great, Vampire Out at Night, and to make you feel completely depressed is Pass the Gun Around. Obviously that transitions to a more first person reflecting, calling out song, which he says, I had so many blackout nights before, I don't think I can take this anymore. But yeah, makes a face, obviously Salvador Dali painting, but for me, my god, like the first time I heard it, I was like, man, this is something special here. So for me, number 5 is Dada. Number 4, I'm going to go with Welcome to My Nightmare. This, I mean, obviously, what more can you say? Cover says it all, really. Welcome to My Nightmare. You got, like, the bugs and, like, mosquitoes behind him. And he's just saying, welcome. Backside, you got the little Black Widow down there with the fly. Awesome use of shadow. And awesome that they didn't have the hourglass on his back. It's on the stomach. So there you go. That's your useless fact for the day. Of course, you got a special guest appearance by Vincent Price. But Welcome to My Nightmare, Devil's Food, Black Widow, great use. of children's vocals on that song really elevates it. Some folks, man, what a dancing song, right? And then you got Only Woman Bleed, of course, Department of Youth, Cold Ethel, and then the concept of years ago, Stephen, The Awakening, and Escape. I've watched the newest tour that he's on, and like with Steven, like the guys come out like the big old baby heads, and man, he just kills it. So yeah, this is an absolute fun ride. You like horns, trumpets, you like just stage play, theatrics throughout this entire album. Check it out. You cannot go wrong, and it might be Alice at its best, who knows? But yeah, terrific album. All right, number 3. I'm going to go with Hey Stupid. Oh my god, like, obviously like Trash to me. Like, this is far and beyond what Trash is. This is a much more mature one. But yeah, I really do enjoy the album cover. That's cool. And then the backside right there. But man, my god, this is just, to me, this is such a strong album. Hey Stupid, which obviously, like suicide, like get help, and, like drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. Just like get help, playing Sketch Your Life Together. Love's a Loaded Gun. My god, that's great. Snakebite. Holy shit, what type of song? I mean, that's just great, right? Burning Our Bed is pretty good. Dangerous Tonight, right? It's like the first half of the song, I'll say he's maybe giving it 90%, but then like the second half, my god, he really elevates it. You just like, fuck yeah, let's go, A terrific ballad with Might As Well Be on Mars, and of course you got the Juggernaut being Feed My Frankenstein on here. Hurricane Years is decent, Little by Little, great song. I love that riff, that great stuff, and just the way he sings it, great. Die For You, decent. Dirty Dreams, decent. And then Wind Up Toy, You're Returning Back to Steven. That is a great song. Something that maybe should have been heard on like the X-Files, right? It's definitely got that feel to it. But yeah, you cannot, at least in my opinion, to me, cannot go wrong with Alice Cooper, Hey Stupid. Alright, number 2 is Alice Cooper, Flush the Fashion. I mean, Alice Cooper, From the Inside. I'm so sorry about that. That'll be the successor, of course. But yeah, terrific album packaging here. You got all the characters. Also, I do have the comic book as well that came out with it. And then the backside here is Alice and folks. They got their certificate, as I'm butchering this, and they're escaping. But my god, I mean, open it up so like you like Elton John, check this album out, right? But you got From the Inside, Wish I Were Born in Beverly Hills, Quiet Room, holy shit, what an emotional song. Nurse Rosetta, fucking brilliant song right there. Million Billy, great. Serious, my god, I love the tempo on that. How You Gonna See Me Now Again, know the ballad, great. Veronica's Sake, Jackknife Johnny, Inmates Were All Crazy. Obviously, Alice Cooper hit the, he's so much into his alcoholism that he went off to an asylum. I think that might be a little extreme. Maybe it's just sort of a, Alice, you can go here, get clean, and also get material for an album, because Alice Cooper plus a mental asylum equals cash. But yeah, for what it is, I mean, just terrific. I truly enjoy this album, obviously. Alright, number one is the album to which I remember I was listening to it. I was on the treadmill, and I just typed in like Alice Cooper albums, and I'd never heard of this album before. This is like when I was fairly new into like listening to him, and like the first song I was like, whoa, this ain't your dad's album, right? I'm talking about Alice Cooper, number 1, Brutal Planet for me. Holy shit, what an industrial metal album this is. And it's funny, right? For me with metal, like 80s metal, Metallica, Iron Maiden, I'm going to get killed for this, but I don't really care for that stuff. This isn't it. This is like I'm just going to say heavier, but like an industrial version. And it's just absolutely terrific. 7 Deadly Sins, up in space looking down on Earth, it looks all peaceful, but for here there's a lot of shit things that go on here, such as, beatings, starvations, school shootings, wasting food and the 9 to 5 life, just like little things, cold machines, just tunnel vision right here. But just, well, I think Take It Like a Woman, it's not really that great of a song because I feel like you're in track 9, track 10. And then you already got a ballad in here. It's like, I don't really know. But for every song, to me, this is the album that every song just totally stands out. Like you hear the first few riffs and you go, oh, that's Blow Me a Kiss or Pick Up the Bones. But yeah, Brutal Planet, Wicked Young Man, great, social context. Like, it ain't the games, it ain't the video games. I'm just a piece of shit that wants to cause harm, right? Sanctuary, Blow Me a Kiss, my god, that's great, and got the line Dr. Doom in there, right? Pick Up the Bones, terrific, underrated Alice Cooper. Pessimistic, great. Gimme, awesome. It's the Little Things, pretty funny. Take It Like a Woman, decent. I don't really enjoy it that much. But Coal Machines, you get right back into it. But just above and beyond, Alice Cooper, to me, Brutal Planet, to me, is my number one choice. So, there you go. Thank you so much for watching. And again, let me know, what are your picks? You can do top 5, you can do top 10. Hey, screw it, you can do all 28. It all depends on what you want to do. So again, just keep it civil, please. And this was a lot of fun to do. So, thank you so much for watching, and take care.